if you win on Saturday, have you kind of looked down the line or?
Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
a massive cheeseburger, a massive cheeseburger. That's the only thing I'm really thinking about. I know there's potential other fights could happen, but I'm just pushing that out my head. I've got to win on Saturday, and that's all my intention is. That and cheeseburgers. That's it.
What do you think about the featherweight division at the minute? Do you feel it's getting pretty exciting again? I know Lee Wood's been mandated to fight Michael Conlon, things like that. On home shores and abroad, it's pretty exciting times, isn't it?
Yeah, it is exciting time. I mean, certainly domestically, there's a lot of big fights happening over the year. Obviously, a few weeks back, we had Kid and Jazza fighting for the world title. Like I say, Conlon and Lee Wood. It'd be interesting to see what happens with the champions overseas. Your Gary Russells and your Santa Cruzes, because they seem to be inactive. I know that Navarrete's been wanting to be out more. But yeah, Gary Russell Jr. and Leo Santa Cruz have both been very quiet. So it'd be interesting to see what happens with them. But to answer your question, British boxing and the British heavyweight scene has been very good for the public.
Thanks very much, Josh. Best luck. I'll
Cheers,
pass
Ben.
on.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks, Ben. If we go to Chris Ridgway next, please.
Josh, how are we, mate? We okay?
Hi, Chris.
Good to see you.
Yeah, cheers, mate.
Want to jump straight into camp questions. How has camp been different this time around, coming up against Mauricio Lara again?
Well, it's not been as long. That is one thing what stands out straight away. I think last time I had about 6 month camp because dates kept on moving and fights. We didn't know where we were with the pandemic and we didn't have a nailed on date. So I was just training more or less from last August to February the 13th. So that's not a bad thing to keep in the gym. But when you're actually in camp and you're preparing like you've got a fight coming up in a few weeks' time, then it does chip away at you. So yeah, I'm always fit. I'm always strong. Going into a fight with someone who've already boxed, there's been a lot more technical work going in. So that's one thing what really stands out. But as always, train hard and fit for 12 rounds.
I know this question's going to come around quite a lot, but the fans obviously back this time around. It's not just any set of fans either; it's the home set of fans and a noisy bunch at that as well. What difference does it make as a fighter? Like, what difference are you anticipating?
Oh, it's massive, man. I mean, I've said this many times, and I've probably bored myself, saying it. But people will say they can't get in ring with you, and I know that. But it's what they do for myself. Like, it's the energy what they bring. The noise and the passion. Now, if they do manage to take an opponent out of his game plan, then that's a bonus. But I don't think about it that. I think about what they can do for me. It's just how my mentality approaches the fight, knowing that people are going to be there, and the noise, like I said, they're going to bring. It makes me switch on, tune up, and gets that adrenaline flowing, through the body. So it's going to be massive having them there, and I do like having my own crowd, and if I were to fight abroad, they'd follow me there as well if they're allowed. So like I say, if late stages of my career I do fight over in the States, I will have a home away from home. So they are fantastic. They are fantastic. It's redemption. It's a rematch, and yeah, mate, it does really feel like there's a lot on the line. So I'm treating it like it's one of them massive nights. Not treating it like it's just Mauricio Lara. He's a massive. He's become a big name in my head, in my life. So yeah, it's do the business Saturday, and we might have to do another picture up here with me and Mauricio.
And just lastly, is sort of the mental preparation key for this fight? Obviously, last time you just vacated the IBF title, you wanted the Kanju fight, didn't happen, and then you fought someone who was at the time unknown.
Yeah.
Now you're heading in knowing all about him. You fought him, and this is the only fight you've been thinking about. Is that key for you? Do you think?
100%, mate, 100%. I think that it would be a case of like, just get him done and go home. Get him done, go home, and get on with the next one. And obviously, pay the price for that, you know. So this time round, all my attention, all camp has been about Mauricio Lara, and that would be the difference on the night, you know, the way that I approach it mentally. Like I said, I know what it'll bring, so it'll be different.
Good luck, Josh. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Jonathan.
Cheers. And lastly, we've got Tom Gray from the Ring magazine. Thanks, Tom.
Hey, Josh, how you doing?
Tom, how are you?
Good, mate. First of all, you were unbeaten as a pro for 12 years. From what I've seen since the setback, you've dealt with it emotionally. Has that been just for the cameras? How difficult has it been to deal with the loss, the first professional loss of your career?
I think I touched on this a few weeks back. Like, for a while, it didn't really bother me. Like initially after the fight, because I had so many physical injuries. You know, I come out the fight with a fair few injuries, and normally the blanket of winning covers them injuries up. But yeah, the injuries were a distraction to the mental side of it. And then when the injuries recovered and physically I was okay, then mentally it started to bother me. You know, it's like, shit, what's happened? I'm fucking #1 in the world. Ring magazine ranks #1. Box rate ranks #1. All of a sudden I've just disappeared out the fucking top 5. Now it's all come crashing down. I don't even know when I'm going to be next out. I was meant to be fighting for other world titles, and I was the man above all of these other fighters who are coming through, and now it's like I've been relegated, not just one division, 3 divisions, and that's what it felt like. And get to a stage where you think, you know, what's going to happen? But then my mindset became, well, do something about it. Do something about it. You're in control of your own destiny. You need to do something about it. So, you know, I think he were, for a few weeks, made it up my ass, and I was a little bit down. But then, like I say, I had a word with myself, and I was all right then.
Everyone, you know, that was watching the fight, or I won't say everyone, but most of the people were essentially saying that you didn't appear yourself even before you were hurt in that fight. You still had success in the fight, but you didn't look anywhere close to being the fight racing against Selby or Frampton. What major differences, and I'm not just talking about mentally, but what differences do you see developing in this fight that will be completely different from the Josh Warrington that we've seen the last time?
Just the approach, mate. Just the approach. I just, like I say, last time out, I didn't give Mauricio Lara the credit, and yeah, I annoy myself like daily with that. I've annoyed myself that I didn't give him the credit. You know, I should have been wary of what could potentially come back, and even at times in the first few rounds, I should have picked up on that as well. But I just still ignored it and thought I'd just blast him out there. And you know, because I've over the last few years, such been a dominant force physically, and you know, taking people's souls early. You know, like say Selby, Frampton. I mean, Frampton 2 rounds. The fight was more or less done after 2 rounds. You know, but I think that was the difference. I didn't do that, or maybe I did that too cocksure last time, and I know that approach can't last. You know, even with fighters who I've known about or feared, I'm wary. But with Lara, I wasn't. I didn't give a fuck, and I paid price for it.
And sorry, just to bolt on then, do you foresee a much smarter technical approach this time rather than trying to like gut check the fight?
Not so much technical, just the case of a little bit just more aware, if that makes sense. Just aware of myself, just aware about everything what could come back and aware of what I'm throwing.
Yeah.
I don't know going to be coming from last week round here. Do you know what I mean? It's like just everything needs to be a bit more sharper.